Okay, I am back. Now I am using my computer because my phone was about to die. That's what I was using going live before. Okay, so let's talk about what are the tools you can use to get those 19 horses that represent your autopilot brain going the same direction as the one that knows what you want. So here's the interesting thing. So when you have all 19 horses or most of your horses going in the right direction, you all know what that feels like. You're in the flow, you're excited, ideas are popping into your head. And that when you have way more ideas than you can actually do, but you're feeling really positive about whatever it is your goal is, just write down your ideas, call them a menu, and then just literally look at the list and think, what sounds fun to me? What looks like, ooh, that's the thing I want to do first. Here's the funny thing. Most of us were brought up that the best way to be successful is to do the things that you don't want to do. The problem is that's exactly backwards of how our brain works. Okay, so this is when you're already feeling like you're excited. I know what I want. I feel really good about it. I'm ready to get going, but I have so many ideas. I don't know where to start. Write a list, call it a menu. It's not a to-do list, it's a to-do menu. Write a list and pick, okay, that looks fun, because that's how your autopilot brain talks to you. It says, that's fun, do that. That's what you want to do, okay? And in case you want just a teeny bits of science behind that, there's something called the heliotropic effect. You see it in plants. You know how plants like grow toward the sunlight? It's in all of our cells, all living cells. We gravitate toward positive things. It's how we are designed. So you can completely, when you're feeling good about what you want to do, you can literally trust what sounds fun to you, and that is your intuition talking. That's your autopilot brain's wisdom saying, this is going to be the most successful thing right now, do that. Okay? So when you're not feeling in that flow, let's talk about what to do, because that one is where we need to take a little bit more time. So here's the funny thing. The normal things that we do in that situation when things aren't flowing, when we have this, so this is what I should be doing, but I can't get myself to do it, or when we try something and it doesn't work, or when we're going in all directions, the things that we do are, first we start beating ourselves up. And then we start trying to dig in to say, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? So those are two things that you're going to stop doing, because the funny thing is both of those things. So let's just carry this crazy analogy of the horses too far. If you have half of your horses that are pulling backwards from the direction that you want to go, and you say, what are you guys doing? Stop it. What you're doing is you're giving more power to those horses. So whatever we have thought in the past that the things that we say are simply just reporting what our experience has been. We're just reporting the past. The thing is, once we understand how our brain works, we understand that those things are also predicting the future. So I want to be sure that I'm clear, that I'm not telling you to pretend everything is fine. I'm not telling you to lie about your current situation. I'm not telling you to suck it up and be positive about things that are crappy. I'm not telling you any of those things, okay? What I'm telling you is that literally if you sit down and say, oh, I have this problem. I need to analyze this problem. I have to really attack this problem because I'm doing everything wrong, and I have to figure out what I'm doing wrong. And you're literally sending energy backwards. You're putting more power in your autopilot brain to come up with ideas that won't work. Okay? So that is not the way that we want to use this power of these fantastic brains that we've been given. So, got that? Things you're going to stop doing are beating yourself up and trying to figure out what you're doing wrong. Isn't that crazy? Like those are the things that we default to, but no longer. You're going to become aware. So if you become aware that you're beating yourself up, or if you come and Trust me, this is not a 100% thing overnight. I've been studying this for a long time and I still catch myself doing it, but I'm telling you to be aware. So, waste of time beating yourself up, trying to figure out what you're doing wrong. Those two things are a complete waste of time. You're not going to do many more when you're feeling conscious. So, what do you want to start doing? So this is where, when people talk about mindset, that you can change what you focus on. We're not telling you to be happy about the crap. We're not telling you to pretend it's not there. We're just saying, okay, if you shift your focus, your brain is going to work better. Okay, so I always start with, is there anything that I can think of right now that is going right? Because that is going to get things going in the right direction. So that's one thing you can do. So I want you, and some of you have probably heard this analogy before, but when we are feeling frustration, when we're feeling discouraged, when we're feeling like I can't find a solution, you know that face that you make, that scrunchy face, also happening inside your brain. Like it's actually happening all over your body. Like your veins tense up and your breath becomes more shallow, and like just your whole body, your function like scrunches. Okay, you're not functioning at your best, and certainly your brain is not functioning at your best. So your first thing to do when you're feeling discouraged or frustrated or scattered is you want to literally get your brain functioning in a little bit of a higher level. So the first tool on your list is going to be joy bringers. And you might think, okay, it's silly, whatever. I'm telling you, this is one of the most powerful things you can do for your brain power. If you want to think of it as little happy things that just get the horse's attention. If they're flying all over the place, pulling backwards, you're just going to do, it's like a whistle to get the horse's attention. And all of a sudden, okay, you know, they're listening. Now you can start getting them in the direction you're going. So, and I keep a list on my phone of joy bringers, because when you're in that moment, when you're discouraged, when you're frustrated, when you're stressed, your brain doesn't have access to, okay, what was all those little things that I like that bring me joy? So make a list on your phone of joy bringers, just in a little notes app on your phone or whatever. It can be taking a deep breath, can be at the top of your list. Petting your dog, watching fish, looking out the window at a bird feeder, you know, taking a 5-minute walk around your yard to look at your flowers, getting online and like Google imaging a place where you want to visit someday. Whatever are your little ideas for 3-minute things that increase your brain power, okay? Because I'm telling you, if you sit down and say, all right, I'm going to make myself work, and you're in a crabby mood, it's not going to go well. Your brain isn't functioning, and the things you're going to notice are people that you don't want to do business with. That's who you're going to be inspired to talk to. So get yourself in a better feeling place first. That gets those horses' attention. Okay, then once you have their attention, how do you get them going in a positive direction? And I'm going to give you, oh goodness, I'll decide how many I'm going to give you. But what I want you to do is pick, okay, so I want everybody to make a joy bringer list, and then I want you to pick one other thing that you're going to use to get your autopilot brain going in the direction of whatever you wrote down that you want. Okay, so remember, this is based on what you want for October, November, and December. And all of the tools that you're going to use to get there, the actions, there's so much information on those, and I'll tell you where to find that. But the most important thing that we're talking about tonight is how to get all 20 of your horses going in the right direction. So first tool that everybody's going to do is joy bringers, because I want you to have those tools at the tip of your fingers where you can just up level your brain functioning at any moment. This is like argument with your spouse, fighting with your kids, like take a step back and do one of these joy bringers, because it's going to change your life. Okay, so then once you're in a better brain space and you want to say, okay, I want to get those horses all pulling in the right direction so that I'm going to notice the right people to work with. The words are going to come out of my mouth in a way that really feels good to me and that inspires the right action that I want from people. So one of the things that I really use a lot is journaling, because handwriting is a shortcut to programming that autopilot. So I'll pull out a journal and I'll write down. Remember, what you're writing is the direction you want things to go. So I don't do just random journaling anymore about things I'm frustrated with, but I'll sit down and write, I really wish, blah, 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 blah. Like, just write out, what do I wish the picture looked like? If there's a specific thing that I've honed in on that I really want to work toward, I'll write that same sentence over and over again. Make sure that it's a picture of what you do want, not what you don't want, because our brain thinks in pictures. So if you think of all those old stories about, the kid that would stay in at recess and write down, I will not throw chalk, I will not throw chalk, I will not throw chalk, like, that's literally programming that kid's brain that they cannot stop themselves from throwing chalk. They're like 19 of their horses are going straight toward throwing chalk the next chance they get, okay? So you want to make sure that you're describing it as what you do want. I'm looking for hosts who are so excited about these products that they cannot wait to share with their friends. I'm looking for team members that are excited about earning income doing something they believe in, right? So you're describing the things that you want. So that also, so journaling is one thing, like having a notebook close to your desk that you can use whenever you need a brain focus, okay? The second thing is having those mantras or that affirmation or that clarity about what you want, having it physically visible in your environment somewhere. So some people will use Post-it notes and put them up in your office or in your kitchen. Some people will take lipstick or a dry erase marker and write on your mirror. But you can put those things somewhere that's visible in your environment physically. So that might mean, and you're going to state it, as if it has already come true, because again, you're programming those horses to know where they're going. So it could be, $3,000 in sales in October, woohoo! Or, I'm finding amazing hosts, whatever it is. The important thing is how you feel when you write that down, okay? So be as specific as you can do to have a good feeling. Now, when I say good feeling, it's okay if you write it down and you have a little bit of a, okay, whatever, Louisa, I'm going to do it just because you said I would. Like, if you think it's silly, that's fine. Totally fine. Your brain is still functioning. If you look at it and you get a feeling of, oh, it's just not possible, then it's the wrong thing. Then talk to me and we'll come up with a separate thing, okay? But if you look at it and think, boy, won't it be cool if this works? Perfect. Go with it, okay? So that's the second thing, is having it written down somewhere in your physical environment. A third option is to program it as a reminder in your phone. And this is one that I use all the time, and I'm constantly changing the mantras that pop up in my phone. I have probably 5 or 6 times a day, I have a mantra that pops up in my phone. And it's just whatever I'm focusing on in my life, it's a positive statement. And I've come to trust, okay, I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm putting those 19 horses to work focused on that. And so I'm just letting it work. So you can put them electronically. If you need some help in writing your statements, I would love to help with that. Message me, post in the event, whatever it is that you do. Another thing, if you're a person that daydreams really easily, the things we've talked about so far are very much word focused. But if you're the kind of person that you love to think in pictures, you can also do this with pictures. And you, believe it or not, just random daydreaming is incredibly productive. That is where those 19 horses kind of all, get together and form a cohesion in daydreaming. You can also do more intentional, especially right before you go to bed, you can sort of play a movie in your head about, okay, if I were consistently having $1,000 party one night a week, What would that look like? What would that feel like? What kinds of things would those hosts serve in their house? What would those rooms sound like? What would my conversations with my hosts be like? That kind of sort of intentional mind movie kind of thing is a really powerful way. And again, right before bed is one of the best times to do that. But the other best time to do that is whenever you have time. So if you're sitting waiting to pick up your kids, start playing a mind movie. Okay, remember, what is it that I want? I got clarity on what it is I want in October, November, and December. Start playing that movie in your head. What does that look like? What does that sound like? What does that feel like when I'm in that reality? That's how you get those horses going in that direction. Let's see. There's more in-depth things you can do to direct those 19 horses, like hypnosis is literally how you take those horses and directly access that. But you don't need to do that. You don't need to go that far. Vision boards are something that you can do to really get those pictures going in the right direction. But there's one more tool that I want to introduce you to, because this one kind of puts everything together and it works on steroids. And I will talk more about this in a later, probably a special event that I'll do, because this is something I've been playing with a lot for the past 2 or 3 months. And it has become something that I use a lot. So it's a tool called Positive Prime. And let me put this in the comments. And there is a referral code so that you get my session for free. Okay, so I just posted that in the comments of this video. So Positive Prime is like an electronic vision board / mantra board. Like it just kind of combines all of it together, like a joy bringer, like it's just kind of all of it. So what it is you go and you just watch essentially a random slideshow of happy pictures and happy mantras. So the code that I just gave you is just to get a free account. If you use the referral code, you'll see the session based on the mantras that I have written myself. So you'll also see my face pop up every now and then telling you that you can do it. And then we can talk at some point about how you can upgrade that and really use it as like your vision board. Like you can put your mantras in it. You can put your own photos of your goals, all that kind of stuff. And that's when it really becomes just a supercharged thing. There's no financial gain for me other than when you guys succeed, then I get paid. That's how leadership works in Norwex. So, like I said, I've been testing this thing for the past few months and it has become one of my favorite tools. So what you're going to do is you're going to come up with your own joy bringer list and you're going to put it on your phone. Well, in the first video, you're going to get clarity on what you want, October, November, December. If anybody needs help getting clarity on that, message me, comment under this video. And then you're going to use, like I said, joy bringers as just a general, like I'm going to use that to up-level my brain whenever I need to. And then you're going to use one of those tools to get your horses going the direction you're going to want. You can use journaling, you can use mantras in your physical environment, mantras on your phone, or you can do the Positive Prime thing and kind of do it all at once. So that is what I've got for you tonight. I'm going to hop off for now and post a few things about October specials and that kind of thing for us to talk about. I'll do a question thread. Is that, okay, just lost my train of thought. I must be done. Yeah, so I'm going to end for now. And we'll talk more in a few other posts about specific things going on in October. Okay,